Hey, it's Giggy. Welcome back to SIPTOPIA, Episode 3. This episode we will be focusing on food production and more trees. We have a lot to do, so I'm going to increase the work hours to 18. Since the drought is ending, I'm going to pause our beavers on a wheel and pause this other water dump. I also want to add 2 more beavers to our district because we have a lot to build. Let's increase the time a little bit to get things moving. And I'm noticing over here that this is a little difficult for the beavers to get to our hauling post. So what I'm going to do is unselect some of these trees and just focus on the ones that are by the hauling post. That way we can add more pathing here and make it a lot more accessible. I want to start getting our industrial area going, so I'm going to unpause these stairs, wheel, and lumber mill over here. Let's make sure that we add a path, and I want to increase to high priority so that we can get that going and lower the priority over here on our bad water diversion. But I do want to increase the stairs before I forget to do that. Looks like we have a few more crops that we can fill in over here, so let's add some more eggplant. And it looks like we have a spot over here for a path that we can add. Also thinking what would be a good idea is to add some more crops all together. We have extra space, and we could always use some more food. These beavers are heifers, I'm telling you. They're just constantly eating. Let's get some more cassava over here. And I think I see a spot over here for canola. There we go. And I want to change the priority on the farmhouses. So that way we got the kohlrabi and the cassava being the main priority, at least for 2 of the farmhouses. Next I want to focus on doing our second tree farm. And I think I'm going to remove all of these selected trees and then only select the trees that are needed for our water reservoir over here. Let's go ahead and add some lumberjack flags. I also want to add a wood storage over here, that way it's easily accessible for them so they don't have far to go and they can get this process done as quick as possible. Then we'll mark all of these, and I want to make sure that this workplace priority is high because I want at least 1 beaver over here. And let's set this to supply. And it looks like this water pump, the water's pretty much full over here, so I'm gonna pause that. Let's see, what priority do we have this at? Nobody's in it yet, but I'm going to decrease that because we have other things that are higher priority right now. Looks like our wheel is built, but I want to make sure that we only have 1 beaver on there. We only have 1 lumber mill that's not even going right now until we get some beavers in there. Let's make sure that happens. To reduce the distance that these beavers need to walk, I'm going to add some platforms. Not like that though. Let's remove that. I'm going to add platforms on all 4 sides. That way they can be a lot more efficient because they don't have so far to go between places. And then this way the hauler with this log storage can easily move the logs over there. And let's get all that set up, and then I want to make this one a high priority, then this one, then this one, and lastly this one. And it looks like we have more crops to add, so let's fill that in here. Got more eggplants right here. Some corn to fill in right there. This is coming together very nicely, and I don't think I need you there anymore, so let's pause that. And since we have a decent amount of berries, I'm just going to select these ones to get rid of altogether. Gradually remove all the berries from this area, but we'll start with those so that I can add more crops down there. And let's go ahead and add the pathing right here to get to our hauler's post. And since that is now completely built, I want to make sure we prioritize all the farmhouses and the fluid dump. We also need to prioritize our Beaver breweries. That way we keep up on that. We don't want to have a huge loss in beavers. And then we want to prioritize our small warehouses here, so that way the fermenter can keep working, and this fluid dump as well. Now that this is built, we can also prioritize our large industrial pile. And since we just built the lumber mill over here, let's go ahead and unpause this storage. Have wood go in there in a high priority. I want to build a storage on top of it for planks. That way the beavers working the lumber mill do not have far to go, and they can keep getting us more planks because we're going to need a lot of them. Unfortunately, each of these wheels cost 80 planks, and then we're now doing the platforms. We also will still need the planks for our double floodgates. So planks are very, very important right now. And since the beaver finished our pathing over here, let me go ahead and remark all of the trees before I forget. And since this area is actually the priority that I want the lumberjacks at, I'm going to go ahead and lower this lumberjack flag. Looks like we have quite a bit more trees to add over here, so let's fill in where we can. Got some pathing to add in. I'm very excited that this is getting done. Can't wait to have a whole bunch of oak trees. We need to increase our wood economy because there's a lot of things that we're going to need wood for. And it looks like I made a mistake previously, because it would seem we have 3 trees in our berry bush area. So let's mark those, and then once they're cut down, we're in no hurry. But once they cut those down, then we can add it back to berry bushes. Alright, now we can go ahead and unpause our platform and our large wheel. And I want this built immediately because I want to get a beaver off of a wheel. They could be doing something else productive. And let's go ahead and add some pathing over here real quickly. And then we'll finish up our industrial area. I want to go ahead and add some platforms on top of all the pathing. And then we're going to want to have some small storages. Just use the space that we have. And let's make that a low priority right now. We're not in any hurry for that to be built, but at least it's all set up. Then I'm going to unpause this because this is where our gear workshop is going to go. Make that a high priority. Of course, it just paused and bugged. And let's add gear workshop there, and then we're going to space it out every 2. I think it'll end up working out well that way. Let's see how it ends up looking. And we've got our lumber mills. Yeah, I think that works out nice. Let's go ahead and pause those though for now. We're in no hurry to make those quite yet. And it looks like we've got a few more places that we can add some extra trees and pathing. Let's do that real quick. Oh, I can't wait for this to be finished. This has been a long process. But on an exciting note, we get to do this all over again on the other side. I know y'all are excited to watch me place a bunch of paths and trees again. It's probably the best gameplay you've ever seen. When I forgot to delete these, we don't need these ones anymore since we added 4 over there. Since we have haulers now, another thing I want to add is small storage or small industrial piles in these corners. That way when they actually have the time to build our bad water diversions, the logs and planks will already be over there for them. And it'll make it a lot quicker for them to actually build by them not having to go and get the supplies. We'll set those to obtain. And we'll do wooden planks over here as well. Obtain. And the same thing over here. Then I'm going to set all of these to a high priority because I want to make sure that those get built, but I want those to be built first, second, and then third over here. I would over here, but we already have a bunch of planks and wood over here. It's not that far for them to get. I don't really have a great spot. I'd have to build it over here, but the stairs are on this side, so we'll just leave that empty over there. It'll be fine. They don't have to walk that far. Let's see how our farm is doing. Oh, good. We have a lot to add over here. Let's finish up these paths, and we'll get some more eggplant, some more corn, and then more canola. You can never have enough canola. And since we're almost at capacity for our kohlrabis, let's go ahead and build a medium storage here just so that we don't reach our max capacity. I'd also like to get a better handle on our water situation. So since there's no drought right now, let's go ahead and relocate that. Eventually I want to put a water reservoir over here. So let's move most of our water production on this side. Oop. And I'm going to place 5 down, but I'm only going to build 2 for now. And this one I want high and high as well. And we're going to build at high, but that one will be lower. We always want to make sure we at least have 1 pump going. Otherwise, we have some very thirsty beavers. And since we have haulers, let's go ahead and set this one to supply. That way we can try to always keep at least 1 empty over here. They will move the water to the other storages instead. And I'm thinking though we probably should add a few more storages until we can build our medium water storage. I do want a few more small ones over here. And let's set that as a very high priority. Actually, hold on. I'd prefer you building in that order. And then I think it would also be a neat idea to put a couple over here. That way our fluid dump beaver doesn't have very far to go. And since we've been kind of slacking on well-being, thinking this would be a perfect place to put a shrub, just dead set in the middle. And then we can also add some shrubs over here by our tree farm area. And let's set those to a very high priority as well. And did I select the one over here? I did not. I also need those water storage built as soon as possible. It looks like our storages are built, so let's go ahead and prioritize those by haulers. And then make sure that this log, okay, the log one is selected already. And select these. Let's check on our tree farm over here. Oh, good, we have a lot to add. This is almost done. Just a few more spots that we need to do. And then let's go ahead and yeah, it should be able to fit. Let's add a storage here before we have any trees grow back. And that'll also be a log storage right there. And then we'll add in a few more oaks right here. And still waiting for that pine to go away. It looks like at one point I put a path there. Let's get rid of that and make it a tree. And now that we have our big wheel built, let's go ahead and pause the beaver on a wheel we can have him do something else. Now I want to unpause our second lumber mill and our gear workshop. We want to get gears going as soon as possible because we want to have that for our medium water storage, and we're also going to need that for our oil press because we want to increase our food production. That is one of our goals this episode. In preparation for the gear workshop, let's go ahead and add a medium storage right here. That way we can guarantee for now they will not stop production on the gears. Want to make sure they have enough room to store them. And it looks like we have some more room for additional canola. Let's fill that in. Let's check on our second tree farm. They've made some good progress, so let's start adding in our layout. And let's see. Go like that. Alright, and then we'll wait for that. We can add in our stairs. And remove that path because you will now become a stair. And that one log right there won't let me do it. And let's add right there. Alright, that is a good start. And it looks like the beaver moved the logs, so let's go ahead and add right there as well. And we're going to want some lumberjack flags on both sides. Then we will add a path over here. And let's add a couple more levees right here. Of course that beaver couldn't pick up that last log. I tell ya, there is some drastic lack in work ethic over here. Let's see, how long does this tree have? A while. Let's go ahead and mark that and make that a top priority so we can clear that out and finish this area up. Eventually we're going to want large storages for a lot of our food, so let's see how we can lay this out. Let's get rid of that. And I also want to get rid of this section. We can then connect the path over here. And hopefully these will lay out nicely. Let's see. Yes, I want to unlock. I think it's going to. I'm pretty excited. Yes, and then the last one will fit right there as soon as we move that water pump. Alright, let's pause these, and then this one is going to be canola seeds, which should actually be able to do 2 for each, which will be great. We'll do soybeans here, and then we'll do corn and eggplants. Am I missing one? I'm definitely missing one. Like, what happened? Fail. Alright, let's try this again. So this is going to be canola. Then we'll keep you as soybean. No, we'll move you to soybean. It's just become a hot mess. Alright, then we'll have you as corn. We'll have you as eggplant. There we go. We're figuring it out. And then we'll have you as cassava, and then we can add another one here for cassava as soon as that's moved. And I think I'm also going to add one down here for kohlrabies for later. Let's pause that for now. Alright, let's see what else we got going on. We can pause our lumber mill over here because we got 2 going over there now. Let's make sure we still don't have anybody in the gears, but now we do. Make sure everybody's where they should be. Alright, so where do we not have workers? Is it just all the lumberjack flags? Because pretty much, yep. Alright, I'm okay with that. And since we actually have barely any trees over here anymore, let's go ahead and pause all of these extra lumberjack flags until we need them again. That way they can do other things. Let's see, pause you. This one was never even built, so I won't worry about that one right now. Let's go ahead and finish off our pathing right here. Add some more trees. And here as well. Just fill in the gaps. And then finally add pathing there. Waiting for that tree to get out of here. Alright, this is pretty much done. It's looking great. Let's check on tree farm 2 and see how that's coming. We're waiting for that one tree to be removed, but it looks like we can add some more levees now. And add some more pathing. I'm gonna need that tree to go. It's gotta go bye-bye. Put it as a top priority. What else? Well, I do have y'all working on a lot of stuff, I'm sure. A long list. The giggy to-do list never ends. Alright, and that's looking good. Nice, you'll have that tree gone. Alright, let's add some more pathing over here. And nope, not there. I wish there was an undo button. I know I say that all the time, but I really do. Especially because I tend to push the wrong one. Or place something just in the wrong spot, and it'd be great to just hit undo right away. I don't need that one there. And still waiting on that stupid tree, but we won't need that one there. And we can add a path over here. Alright, that's looking good. We'll come back to that later. Let's see how our housing situation. We have only 2 beds available, so thinking since we have over 700 science, let's go ahead and add some large row houses right here. Let's place 6, but we're only going to build 2 for now. So we'll just pause those. This will be a high priority, and then this will be a lower priority. That way that's all set up. And let's add some more pathing over here as well. Can go and connect all of this now. And we'll probably just go all the way across. We can always remove it if we so choose. Then that's all set up. And did you still didn't remove that tree. Why not? Why are we not removing that tree? Alright, well before I forget, we only have a few trees left, so let me go ahead and mark this area completely so that they can keep working over here. Alright, the next thing I want to do is get this other side set up for our food, so let's see how we want to lay this out. I don't want these here anymore. Let's get rid of that completely. We're going to add some platforms over here. Let's add some small storages. I'm going to want that one turned that way. And then we will line up our medium storages going like this. And like that. And then we'll have one there. And let's turn you this way. You go that way. That way. Oh, and that aligns nicely too. I'm just getting lucky. I'm loving it. Alright, let's pause these. And we will want that built, because that's where we're going to put food processing right away. Let's add the pass in between here. Alright, so for the small storages, let's do cassava in this one. Then we're going to do soybean in this one. And I think we'll do canola seeds in this one. Then in our medium storages, we're going to do, let's see, we'll do cassava. Soybean can be in this one. And I think we'll do 2 canola seeds. No, actually, wait a minute, because we're going to want cassava, soybean, and then I will want a mushroom right here, and then we'll do these two canola. And then we'll end up doing a coffee bean here, and probably corn. Then we can put eggplant here. We'll do 2 mushrooms, and then we'll end it off with algae on the end. Yeah, that works. I like it. And let's also add in platforms. And then some of them we'll just put on a very low priority like we did on the other side, but at least this is all laid out then. Oh. And we'll want some stairs for our beavers to access. Add a path, and then we'll add paths going up here. That works. And then let's see, we want to low prioritize there, there. Just all these paths that we added in between. And then we'll probably do it up to there, I'm thinking. Let's see, now we'll want a fermenter right there, add one here and on this side, and let's make sure that we add our paths. And then, not sure how this is gonna lay out yet, but hopefully my lucky streak keeps going. Alright, that looks good. And let's add more on this side. Yeah, I like how that flows. And then we'll add some small tanks for our canola. And then we can add the small storages for our canola seeds. Alright, that looks good. And let's see here. We want this canola oil, that one, this one, and that one. And then we want all of the storages to be our canola seeds. Alright, and yeah, that should be good. I will want a path going into there and in there. And then we can pause all of this for now because we don't need any of it built. But at least we got it all set up. Alright, that's looking good. Now let's go ahead and unpause our platform over here and get this second large water wheel built. I'm going to set that to highest priority. And let's see if we can finish up our layout over here. It looks like that tree has been removed now. So let's add in a levee and some more path over here. And the path can go that way. Alright, that's looking good. And let's add in the middle here. We need our platforms. We can get rid of the middle right there. And we'll want our fluid dump. We're just going to copy the other side. And then flip that around. We will need teeth grindstones right here. And then we also need our flags. Which one goes there, there, and there. Okay, and then we'll add in our paths. And we can't forget about our shrubs. Add a little bit of color over here and make the beavers happy. Let's pause that because we don't want that built just yet. Got a few more paths that I can add in here. It's looking good. Alright, let's check on our crops. Let's unpause the gatherer flag and get those berries collected. And add some more canola over here. That's almost done now, which is good. Alright, let's add all of our pathing over here, finish this off. So let's see, we're just going to copy from the other side. And which means, yes, I do need to get rid of this altogether. My computer, or the screen just jumped. Alright, that's fine. We will adjust accordingly. And then fill in there. We should have one going across here as well. Alright, that's looking good. Now it looks like we have some spots to fill in over here. Finally finish this up. Let's add our trees. Alright, that's good. And then we're still just waiting for... Let me make sure that's unmarked again. Alright, we got our drought approaching. Let's see how these berries are coming along over here. Oh, they're almost done. Alright, so let's set this up. We're going to end up putting a gathering flag right here. Want that to be a very high priority and set that. Let's add a small warehouse so that we can have berries going right into there, so that way the gatherer can just keep gathering. And then we're going to add this to supply. Then once that's built, we'll set that to the haulers. Oh, they built that with a quickness. Let's pause that for now until the berries are actually full grown. And I want to add some medium storages over here for now, until we have enough material to build the large storages. Let's add some berries over here. Make that a high priority. Alright, let's speed up time. See how we're coming along. That's looking good. We're finishing up that area. We've got a couple trees that we can fill in right here now, and that's done, except we still need those trees removed. This is getting completed. Let's fill in a couple paths over here real quick. And it looks like this beaver's pretty much done, and we're about to have the berries over there, so let's just delete that altogether. Can get rid of that. Now we can add some more kohlrabi right here, and let's finally mark these bushes for demolition. They've got to go. Bye bye berries. I will not miss you over here at all. You have been nothing but a pain in my, you know. And let's set that as a high priority, because once those are gone, then we can add more crops in there. Let's see if that berry storage is built yet. Not yet. Oh, well, probably because I didn't put it on the highest priority. I was going to say they built the flag with a quickness. It was like I blinked and it happened. There we go. Let's unpause that now, and then make sure we prioritize by haulers. Since we have a drought coming in preparation, let's fill up with some more water. We're going to unpause that one. And let's build this third one right away and get a beaver in there, because we have some extra beavers right now. Since we moved the berry storage over here, let's go ahead and empty this one out. That way we can finish up our layout over here. And then I think we're also gonna relocate those real quick. Alright, and it looks like the beavers removed those crops, or the berry bushes, so let's fill in with the crops over here. And other than a few more spots, this is completely done. Finally, it has been a long time coming. Alright, let's go ahead and delete this water pump. We can also delete those. And then we can move our path going this way. And get rid of that completely. Alright, now that that second wheel is done, let's go ahead and unpause our oil press. We want this built, at least one of those. And that one built for now. And let's make that all a high priority. Get our food going here. Alright, so the drought has started. Unfortunately, we know what that means. We got to put some beavers on a wheel. So So let's unpause that, and I think we could get away with 3 beavers for now. Alright, well I need you to work there. That needs to happen. Unfortunately. Let's just make sure. Alright, we also lost our beaver in the gear workshop. Let's go ahead and see what we can make happen here. Got 2 over there. I can pause you again because you filled up on water. That's fine. And let's see. We can go ahead and add a medium storage here. That way these trees don't grow back. Because eventually we'll want to build something there, and I don't want to have to remove any trees. There we go. Alright, let's see. Did a beaver move in there yet? No. So let's go ahead and take 2 beavers from our district right now. We're not building a ton. We need production to keep going. Alright, let's see. Okay, perfect. We got 1 in there now. And we could probably lower 1 of you over here. You can go do something else. And we're almost full on water, so I'm actually going to pause this pump. That way they can go do something. And let's check on that beaver with the berries. Yeah, you're done, so let's pause you. Alright, that should get enough beavers in all the places that we need it. Let's see. Oh, now we have 3 unemployed. Well, that's even better. So let's put you back in the district. And we could probably... don't need to unpause that yet. But, okay. Now that beaver figured it out. Went somewhere. We don't need you working yet because until the oil press is built, which that's still a work in progress, you won't have any power. Let's empty out these 2 as well. And then this is emptied, so let's go ahead and delete that. That can be deleted, and this can now be deleted, and we can finally finish up this area. Add a large storage right here. But we're going to pause it for now, and this is going to be the cassava. There we go. And it looks like our oil press is finally built, so we're probably going to need another beaver on a wheel. There we go. Keep that going. And then I will want now our fermenter back in action over there. And let's unpause the other fermenter, and we're going to want that to be fermented soybeans. We'll increase the priority. We should probably unpause those as well and get these built. Let's get another few of those going. And I think I'll have to... is this paused it? Yeah, that medium storage is paused. So let's unpause that, get that built. And I would have thought that this would have power from that. Why? Well, it seems that it's working. I don't know why it says building lacks power, but it definitely has power. Okay, might be a glitch. Not sure. Don't ask questions, I guess. I don't know. Because that's the... ah, that one. Okay, never mind. I'm stupid. Let's put that on pause. I love when the game tells me, hey idiot, you forgot to do something. Alright, actually, let's go ahead and delete all of this now because we transferred it over there and we can get all of these resources back. Might as well get rid of you, and then we can move that over. And then let's pick up all this mess, if it wants to let me select it, and get all this debris. Okay, I swear I hover over it and then it's like, nope, we're not, denied. Alright, what is unconnected? Did I not put a path under there? Is that the problem? Oh no, I'm stupid and turned it the wrong way. Wow. Okay, well that sucks because we'd have to get rid of... That sounds like a later problem, not a right now problem. I'm sure you all were laughing at me while that was happening and saying wait till she finds out that she forgot to do this step. Gosh, I really... Alright, it is what it is. We're gonna... This is how you learn from your mistakes. And let's get rid of all of this pathing. And then we will delete you. Could have been way worse. It is fine. Everything's fine. Alright, and then this one was... What do we have in here? I think that was... Yeah, it was cassava. Alright, then we can build the fermenter. Alright, this will teach you not to double check before you build. And let's get that and that. Good thing it's just logs. We do have a decent amount of those right now. And then we'll want fermented cassava here and fermented soybeans. Look at those beavers work. Good job. Just solved my problems. I appreciate you for it. Like it never happened. Just erase that from all of our memories. Alright, and that's all looking good. Alright, let's go ahead and finish our pathing over here. And it looks like our drought just ended. So let's slow it down a little bit. But there's a few things I want to go ahead and finish off. So let's add all this pathing real quick. And then I want, yeah, let's just do it from this angle. Let's see. We'll want to delete these and just get these built over here. And then I'm also going to want all of this built as a priority. And then we will select all of this to be built. So this is our next top priority because we want to plant some more trees. And it looks like we have some trees growing over here. So let's unpause these flags and get these trees cut down as soon as possible. And let's make sure, okay, I did select that as prioritized by haulers. Alright, that's looking good. And I don't want to forget to do this, so let's go ahead and move these lumberjack flags really quick over here, so that way they can get to all of the trees and not have any issues. And then we will delete you and you, and also open up this fourth farmhouse because the food is looking kind of grim right now. Could be better. Alright, were these emptied yet? This one is, so we can get rid of that. And how's this coming? So this one we can keep as Karabi's. This one I also want to empty. And then once that's emptied, then we can change that over to fermented soybeans until we unpause these and build the large storage. Since I added a lot of things for the haulers to do, let's go ahead and add 2 more beavers to that. And it looks like they did not build this because I didn't put that on a high priority. So let's fix that. We're going to pause this for now. Once that's built, then they should be able to build that. And that'll all be good. And let's go ahead and pause this wheel in preparation since the drought is ended. Well, we made it to cycle 5. I'm curious if we're going to have a bad tide next time or if it's going to be another drought. We'll have to see. Just in case, that'll be our main focus next episode, is to finish up our bad water diversions. That way, if we get a bad tide, we are prepared for it. We also want to focus on finishing up our second tree farm over here and get a lot more trees growing, because as they cut down these, they'll take a while to regrow, and if we could have a second set already growing, that would be very beneficial so that we don't have to slow down production. Thank you for hanging out with me. Please leave a comment and provide any constructive feedback, something you'd like to share, questions, or just say hi. I hope watching this put a smile on your face. Take care and see you soon.